Good afternoon, I hope that you're doing well. I thought I would give you a really brief update of essentially yesterday's work on the sticker sheets. I was away most of the day today and I'll be away Thursday and Friday as well. So in this video I'm probably going to end up including at least the weekend, if not part of next week as well. But I still wanted to film a couple of bits as I am working on some new sticker sheets because I know people enjoy seeing that kind of process. And I'm working on a few different things. So I'm working on, let's start with kind of the most basic thing. I'm working on another like normal size A6 spring themed sticker sheet. I'm very much basing this off of my two favorite sticker sheets that I've ever made, which I have over here. It's the warm spring, kind of especially the pink one. I made two. I made a yellow version and a pink version. These were last year's spring sticker sheets. And then this, which is one of the latest ones that I've drawn, which is very red and grey themed. It was inspired by strawberries, but kind of indirectly by Nana, the anime or manga. And I really like both the drawings but also the colour palettes especially, and so I'm kind of carrying this on with this design. And I think it's going quite well. I have noticed I tend to really like the kind of stickers that are layered and that have multiple elements within them, so I've included a couple of them, and I have some more ideas for what I'm going to do with the rest of it. I think it's going to be more red for the most part, and then maybe like some smaller neutral doodles to sort of fill the gaps. But then I'm also working on a couple of smaller designs. So if you watched last week's video, you will have seen that I did some tests over the weekend with some mini sticker sheets to print out sticker dots. This one did not end up working out. This has no cut lines because they were turning out all like offset. But I've made a different version that did work out. I'm still gonna have to do some tests because I like this one better still, and if I could at least find like a middle ground between this one and the one that worked out, I think that'll work out too, but I'll do that over the weekend. But in the meantime, I was thinking I really like this kind of mini size, like just for reference in comparison to like an A6 sticker sheet. This is what it looks like. It's 9 by 6 centimeters. I think they're really sweet, and I thought it would be interesting to try and make some small designs to print on mini sticker sheets but have them like actual drawings and not sticker dots or like graphic shapes. And I thought what this kind of thing would be really good for is I do sometimes have ideas that I think I would like to draw stickers for, but I don't necessarily have so many ideas for that theme to fill out a full-size sheet. And so I've drawn up, or well, I've started to draw up some of these little designs with 6 elements within them. So I've made one that's like more post-based, I guess, and then there's one with some sweets. Again, this will be, I think, quite strawberry themed. And then I've started another one with like teacups and teapots, just some small designs. I think it'll be nice, and I also think it's nice to have portable sheets sometimes. I travel a lot. I go back home to my parents every weekend, and oftentimes I won't bring my full like stack of sticker sheets that I keep in my drawer at my desk at all times, and I think having something small like this would be very handy to keep in the front pocket of my like Hobonichi or my traveler's notebook, where I can't necessarily fit like a full-size sheet. And so I'm working on a couple of these. We'll see how many I actually get around to finishing by the time I actually do the shop update, which I don't have a date for yet. I don't really know when that's going to be still. I still need to kind of go sort out my PO box. I need to get some mailers, but I'm waiting for that because I think my dad might have some, but I need to double check the size again this weekend. And then I have to order like glassine bags, and then I actually have to make the stock, and I'm not sure I have time to do that this weekend, so we'll see. So it might not be next week for me, so that'll be the first week of June for reference. It might be the second week of June, I think that's more likely. And then alongside that, I'm also working on a couple of die cut stickers. This is not finished, but I was working on it yesterday. I think it'll be nice to have some, like, I'm making these 4x4 centimeters, so they'll be a bit bigger than my normal stickers, and it'll be nice to have a couple of them to choose between. I'm also thinking I might make some smaller ones to use for packaging, so like to close up the glassine bags. I'm thinking if I'm making a few sets of the everyday sticker sheet pack, which is 10 sticker sheets, I think it'll be nice to close that up with like a belly band, and then I'll want a little sticker to close that, if I get around to doing that. Otherwise I'll use washi tape, but I think it'll be cute to just have a small sticker for that. So, you know, just working through some ideas, but yesterday I started sketching some of these out, and I'm really happy with how they're coming along. So it's, I think, around 6 p.m. now, maybe later, so I don't have that much time left in the day, but I think I might start colouring this in, and I need to refine some of the elements, of course, and we'll see where we go from there. I am home tomorrow afternoon, so I'll be able to keep working on them, but I thought I would give you just a small update in the meantime.
Ci sono 10 euro di differenza. Ah, Giorgio.
Sono andato alla Via Crucis del pomeriggio per i bambini.
again. It's Wednesday of the week after. I don't think I filmed in a few days. Our uni trip went really well. It was very interesting. So I didn't really film much. It was not the kind of, you know, filming environment, but it was very, very interesting. So happy with that. This is also my last week of lectures, so I only have tomorrow left, and I had a couple of days off this week as well, but they were just very grey, very lazy days off. I did do a little bit of uni work, but mostly I just took it, you know, very slow to catch up with house things really, and I did a little bit of drawing and a bit of knitting, and I thought I would show you a couple of updates. I spent some of the weekend working on sticker sheets. I'm happy to report I figured out the sticker dots. I've made them work. The only thing that I haven't yet figured out regarding the sticker dots are the black ones, because every other color is like perfectly fine. Even like the light ones look great. The black ones, I don't have one here, but the black ones get all of the streaks over them, and I'm not sure why that is. My printer isn't doing that with any other color or anything else, so I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'm gonna do some more tests this weekend and see if I can get that to work out. But I did figure out the smaller ones. I ended up going for a kind of an in-between. I think in my first test I had 7 dots across the mini sheet, and then in my second one I had 5. The one with 7 didn't work out because all of the cut lines were not lined up, because I didn't have enough space, like enough leeway for the cutting machine. I do think the mistake was mine, like I didn't align the cut lines properly, but still there was just too much room for errors. But then I didn't like the way that the one with the 5 looked, and I also felt like I could optimize the space a bit more. So this one with 6 worked really well. The cutting machine has plenty of space to make errors if, you know, it happens to, and the stickers will still come out perfectly usable, and they also just look a little bit cuter. And then I made a little bit of stock. I've started, I don't know really how many sticker sheets I'm gonna make for the shop, because I don't know like how many orders I'm gonna get and everything. I figured I'll start making some. I'm gonna make some more over the weekend. I don't want to make too much because I don't have that much space to store things, but because I'm just making them myself, I feel like I don't have to worry so much about making that much stock because I can kind of replenish it every weekend. So I've made some. I ended up deciding to make them with rounded corners. I feel like they look really nice. So they're gonna have rounded corners, and then they're just printed on the glossy sticker sheet paper, and you know, they have cut lines. It's a normal sticker sheet, you know. So I made a bunch of different ones. I've started working on some of them. I have some more designs that need printing, but you know, I've started with some of them. I've been making some sets of the everyday set. I don't know, I think I did show kind of the A6 version, because the digital version has all of them on an A4 sheet, and then I started making some of the die cut sticker sheets. Sticker sheets, the die cut stickers. I've only designed one so far. I ended up deciding to make it in 2 different sizes. So there's a 4cm one or thereabout, and a 5.5cm one. Maybe I'll put a close up. Just because I originally designed them to be 4x4cm or thereabout, and then I figured they would also probably look cute in a little bit of a bigger size. I'm not sure I'm gonna really have the time to design many more things before the shop update, which is probably gonna be around mid-June. So that's a couple of weeks away, not even, because it's the 5th of June now, and I'd like to maybe put things on the shop like by next weekend. I think that would be good, so that I can put things on the shop, and then I can gauge what the interest is and figure out, you know, if I have to make more or what. I'm waiting for my packaging supplies to arrive. They're meant to arrive on Monday, so, you know, we're making progress, but I think I'd rather start slow, and then I can always make more. So there's that. I did actually, one thing I spent some time working out, for the die cut stickers, I ended up making them so that they have, obviously, they're cut out to their shape, but then on the inside, they have another cut line that's like a kiss cut sticker, like a normal, like you would get on a normal sticker sheet, so that you don't have to try to peel them off directly from the sticker paper. You have a bit of a border around them, which just makes peeling them off a lot easier. So yeah, I thought that was cool. So that's really it for the sticker sheets. Hopefully, in about a week's time or so, they will be out. I guess I'll bring you through this weekend as well, and I'll try to film a bit more than I did last weekend, so you can see a little bit of the process of making the sticker sheets as well, even though that's nothing really like particularly exciting. I'm just printing things out and cutting things out and trying to keep on top of everything. I thought I would also show you some knitting updates as well, because I've been working on some things. I don't know if I've showed this. I know I showed this in the knitting podcast episode, but I am not sure I've shown this on just one of the regular weekly videos yet. I've been working on the Barbro top. It's full of safety pins and bits because I'm working on the straps and I've got stitches on hold everywhere, but it's a lace cami there. You can see a little bit of the light shining through. I've done the shaping for the front with the straps, but I'm gonna have to go back and add a bit more length to the straps because they're too short. And then I'm working on the back panel. Well, not the back panel, I've done the armhole shaping. The armhole is like here. And then it goes like this, and here is the front strap, and I've gotten to the point of the back where I need to work the two straps separately, so I'm gonna hopefully do that tonight. But I'm so happy with how the lace stitch pattern ended up looking, because at first I was really interested in knitting the Barbro blouse, which is like a really beautiful high neck long sleeve version. I think it looks so fancy, but I figured I probably wouldn't have as many occasions to wear it as the camisole. To be fair, with how much I liked the stitch pattern, I don't think it's that unlikely that I might actually end up knitting the blouse version as well, maybe kind of around the autumn time or something like that. But when I was kind of looking at it again, I was seeing a lot of versions in a lighter coloured yarn, and I was unsure whether I really loved the stitch pattern, but I think or whether it looked good in a dark yarn mainly, but it looks so good in black. I'm so happy with it. So, that's one thing that I'm hoping to finish this weekend. I think I'm gonna go home with just that, so that I've got to finish it. I only have the two back straps to finish, which is probably gonna take me like, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half to do them both, 2 hours. And then I've got to finish the front straps, sew them together, and then I just need to do the I-cord edges. So I think that's very much doable in the next like 4 days or so. But instead of working on that, yesterday I started working on a new project, which is going to be another self-drafted piece. I've really been enjoying self-drafting patterns recently, just, trying things out. But I have no interest in like pattern writing and sharing patterns or anything like that. I'm gonna be clear about it. But just for myself, I think it's fun. I like the maths of it, kind of trying to figure things out. I think it really helps to figure out how knitting works. Like, I don't know, I think it makes you understand things better. And I also just think it's fun. So I've started working on the back panel of a t-shirt essentially. I want to make a polo neck t-shirt. I have like a polo neck short sleeve, slightly cropped t-shirt that used to be my mum's and has now become mine, and I really like the fit of that. I found it in my wardrobe a couple of weeks ago and remembered it existed, and I've never worn it a lot, but I tried it on again and I fell in love with the fit of it, and I thought I need a black version of this. So obviously I'm making one, because why go buy something when you can make it yourself? So I'm working on the back panel. I think it's looking quite good. I basically just recalculated all of the stitch counts based on the t-shirt that I already have. So I took measurements of that, converted it into stitch count. I have a gauge swatch for this yarn, which is the Knitting for Olive Merino. I have that in my knitting basket over there, and then I just calculated all of the, you know, increases and decreases and all of that. I figured out the collar as well, which I'm really excited to knit. I'm gonna do a double knitted collar and a double knitted button band with just 3 little buttons over here. I know the collar is gonna take forever because I'm knitting like the main fabric, the main stockinette part on 3mm needles. So for the double knitting, I think I'm gonna go down to 2.25 probably, or 2mm needles. I've not yet tried it. I think because I do have a swatch, I'm probably going to try to pick up stitches on that and knit a bit of double knitting alongside it to see what you know, the best gauge for that is going to be. But I've calculated I'm going to have to work the double knitted collar across 200 stitches on very tiny needles and it's only like 6 centimeters. Those 6 centimeters are going to take like 3 weeks. So, you know, that'll take a while, I think, but it'll be nice to have just a whole bunch of stockinette going on. As I said, it's my last week of lectures for the semester, and then I start exam session, which goes all the way until the end of July. I am also going to do my work experience kind of across July through the beginning of August. So I'm not taking as many exams as I thought I would initially. I was going to take 4. I think if all goes well, I'm going to take 3. 2 are like certain. The third one is going to happen one way or another, I think. But I have to still like calculate page counts and all of that. But it'll be nice to have some stockinette going on. Because I feel like for the camis that I've been working on, that I want to work on as well, I kind of have had and I'm going to have some more intricate stitch patterns. Nothing like particularly complicated, but just something a bit more engaging that I can't necessarily work on without looking at what I'm doing, but the stockinette I can knit without looking. And so it'll be great because I like having something in my hands when I'm like repeating things. So it'll be good, really good, like exam session knitting. So that's what I've been working on. I don't have it here, it's all the way across the room, so I'll show it probably at the weekend, because I picked up my Campanula tee again, which was the grey t-shirt that I was working on a couple of months back, that I put on hold to work on some other bits. I've picked it back up, I've split for body and sleeves finally, only to realise I only have a teeny tiny bit of yarn left that's attached to the project, and the rest of my yarn, I have 3 more skeins. I'm nearing the end of my second. The rest of my yarn is at home at my parents', so I can't work on it until the weekend, so I'll probably bring this top to finish, you know, depending on where I'm at with it, but I'm gonna work on this tonight and bring it home for me to finish, and then I'll probably also bring the Campanula tee, so I have a bit more knitting for probably the train on my way back on Sunday or Monday, so that's where I'm at with things. And I'm gonna spend the morning working on sticker sheets. I'm gonna have the printer and the silhouette machine going, and I think in the meantime I was originally gonna do a little bit more sticker drawing because I've not really gotten around to doing much this week. Hopefully from Monday, which will be kind of the official start of my exam session, and I'm not going to go to lectures anymore. I'm going to have, you know, very full days studying, but a bit more time at home to actually work on sticker sheets. You know, I'll kind of save the time that it takes me to go to and from uni. But I've actually decided I'm gonna rearrange some of my older sticker sheets instead and print a couple of each of those as well, because I've had some requests for them. I've also realised that my Inktober sheets don't have like the new format with the kind of the bar at the bottom with my handle and the title, but they have like my handle in the middle, and then sticker sheets also come down, not sticker sheets, the actual sticker designs also come down to the sides of those. So I'm gonna rearrange those a bit so I can print a couple of sets of those as well, mostly because I want some for myself, but also because I know those have been quite well loved. And also it's nice sometimes, I think, to have just some very plain, like just black and white stickers. I feel like they go with everything kind of for every season, so I'm going to print a couple of those sets as well. I have to finish printing the date stickers because I've kind of split the original A4 page into 4 A6 pages, but I forgot to print the last one for all of them, which is the one with the labels and like the calendar stickers, so I'm going to print those out as well to finish the sets. And then I have a couple more designs here and there that I'm just going to make a couple of. I don't want to make too much. I also don't have too much sticker paper. I'm going to order more this week, but I don't want to make too much because I don't know how much I will actually need, and because I can restock things very easily, I'd rather just have like a bit of a base. And then my hope is that I'll open the shop like on Thursday or Friday, and then over the weekend, that way I can kind of gauge what the interest is, and if needed I can make more, and then I'll pack and ship the orders, you know, starting from the week after that. So that's sort of the plan. I'm gonna get going with it because it's already 10:30, and I'm not really gonna be able to walk you through kind of the process. I'll film some of it, but I'm not going to be able to talk because it's going to get a bit loud in the studio. The printer is okay, but the cutting machine is a bit loud, but you'll get to see some of it at least. I'm also, I think, going to make some more sticker dots, but I've not really gotten around to finishing any of the minis or anything like that, so we'll see. I might not include those in this shop update specifically, and then maybe I'll have another shop update kind of at the end of the month, something like that. My plan is not to do like one big shop update and then close the shop and then reopen it with another big shop update. I'd rather have kind of more of a consistent, I don't know, just like a consistent baseline with the shop being open at all times, and I'll restock things more gradually, and then I'll have new products whenever I feel like making them. So that's sort of my plan for it, but I'll stop rambling for now. I'm gonna get myself something to drink and get started with it.